Welcome to the Deep Dive. If you're curious about Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Japan, you've probably seen those colorful wristbands, the power-up bands.
Yeah, they're pretty hard to miss.
Exactly. And they seem like a huge part of the experience. So today, we're diving into what they are and, how they actually work.
That's right. If you're planning a visit, or honestly, even if you're just interested in how theme parks are using tech these days, understanding these bands is, it's pretty key. They really do change things up.
We've looked at quite a few sources, travel blogs with firsthand stories, the official park info, even some Wikipedia background stuff to really get the full picture for you.
Trying to cover all the bases.
Our mission here is basically to give you the essential knowledge about these power-up bands. So you feel, excited and ready, not kind of lost in the details.
Sounds good. Where should we start?
Okay, so first things first. What is a power-up band at its core? What's its main job?
Right. So at its heart, it's a wristband, obviously, but it's designed to connect the Super Mario game experience with the physical environment of Super Nintendo World there in Japan.
Connect? How so?
It gives you this tangible way to interact. You're not just looking at stuff.
So it's definitely more than just a colorful souvenir band.
Oh, absolutely. Way more. One of the coolest parts is that it lets you physically do things in the park that you do in the games.
Like what?
Like, the question mark blocks. You can actually punch them.
No way. Seriously?
Yeah. And when you do, you collect virtual coins, just like Mario. It's pretty satisfying, actually.
That is a fantastic idea. And I heard there are different designs, different characters.
Yep, that's right. You've got 6 options: Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Princess Daisy, Toad, and Yoshi.
So you can pick your favorite.
Exactly. A bit of personalization, show your team spirit, sort of.
Okay, makes sense. What's the damage? How much does one of these interactive bands set you back?
Each band costs JPY 3,200, and that includes tax.
3,200 yen. Okay.
Yeah, it's a one-off purchase, but it unlocks, a whole layer of interactivity in the park. You kind of weigh that against the experience it adds.
Right. Now, you mentioned collecting coins. How do you actually, see your score? Is there an app or something?
There is, yeah. You link the power-up band to your phone using the official Universal Studios Japan app. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
And that connection lets you track all those virtual coins you're collecting, plus digital stamps you can earn from doing different things.
Stamps, too.
And you can even see your team score. If you're there with friends who pick different characters.
Yeah.
Adds a bit of a friendly competition.
Real world Mario Party almost. That's clever.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've decided you want one. Where do you actually buy it in the park?
The main spot, the most obvious one, is a cart they have set up in Superstar Plaza. That's right near the entrance to Super Nintendo World itself.
Easy to find then, probably.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah.
It can get busy, but it's right there. Hard to miss.
Okay. Are there other places? What if that cart is swamped?
There is another option, yeah. Especially useful if you're thinking about getting a Universal Express Pass anyway.
Okay.
You can often get the power-up band at California Confectionery that shops over in the Hollywood area of the park. So you could potentially grab your band there, maybe even with your Express Pass before you even head towards Super Nintendo World.
Oh, that's smart. Kind of get set up early.
Right.
We also saw a clip tip mentioning you might be able to borrow one. How does that work?
Right, that's an interesting point. Because the bands themselves are reusable, and your progress, your coins and stamps is tied to your app account, not the band itself, technically. You could borrow a band from someone who's been before, a friend or family member.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just pair their physical band with your USJ app on your phone. You'd track your own progress.
So you could save the cost of the band itself that way?
Potentially, yeah. The downside is you wouldn't get to pick your own character design, you'd just use theirs. But it's, an option to consider.
Yeah, definitely a useful tip for some people. Okay, so picture this. I've got my band. Let's say I bought a Mario one. It's on my wrist. I've linked it to the app. Now what? How do I start playing?
It's really simple. Once it's on your wrist, snug enough so it makes contact easily and it's synced with the app, you're good to go.
Just start walking around and hitting things?
Pretty much, yeah. When you see a question block or maybe a POW block, you just give it a good tap with the band where your character icon is.
And something happens.
If you connect right, you'll hear that classic Mario ding sound effect, and then boom, you'll see your coin count go up in the app. Same idea for collecting those digital stamps at the specific spots.
Okay, so the app is like my real-time score screen.
Exactly. Your dashboard for coins and stamps. And like we said, there's the leaderboard if you're with others, see who's racking up the most.
Adds that little extra motivation.
Yeah.
Now, the app has a map too, right? How does that help with the band stuff?
Yeah, the virtual map is super helpful, especially for finding the locations of the key challenges.
Key challenges. Okay, tell me about those.
So think of these as specific mini games scattered around Super Nintendo World. Using your power-up band to beat these games lets you collect virtual keys.
Keys. What are they for?
Collecting them is one of the main interactive goals. It gives you a reason to explore and try out different activities. You need them for the final challenge.
Okay, so what are some of these key challenges? Our sources mentioned 3 main ones.
That's right. First up is the Koopa Troopa Power Punch key. This one's single player.
Okay.
Your goal is to hit a POW block with your band at just the right moment to send a green shell flying and knock over a Koopa Troopa figure. It even uses sound cues to help you get the timing right.
Huh. Just like in the games, timing that shell kick.
Yeah.
What's next?
Second is Pack and Flower Alarm Panic. This one's multiplayer. Up to 4 people can play together.
Team effort.
Definitely. You've got these piranha plants trying to wake up, and alarm clocks start ringing all over the place. Your team has to run around and quickly tap the ringing clocks with your bands to shut them off.
That sounds frantic.
It can be. Up to 12 alarms can ring randomly, so you really have to work together and react fast.
Fun. And the third one?
The third main one is called Bomb Hay Dismembered Puzzle, also multiplayer, up to 4.
Another team challenge.
Yep. This time, you're gathering pieces of a jigsaw puzzle that are scattered around. You have to work together to assemble the picture, but there's a bomb.
Oh no!
Yeah, it periodically explodes virtually, of course, and scatters all the puzzle pieces again. So you're racing against the bomb timer.
Okay, so these sound like really active mini games. You mentioned needing keys for a final challenge, the Bowser Jr. final battle.
Exactly that. Once you've managed to collect at least 3 of those keys from the mini games,
3 keys minimum, got it.
you get access to the Bowser Jr. final battle. You scan your power-up band at the entrance to his small dungeon, as they call it.
Entering a dungeon.
Yeah.
Sounds cool. What happens inside?
Well, the story is Bowser Jr. swiped Princess Peach's golden mushroom. Your job, along with everyone else in there, is to get it back.
How? Is it another game?
It's more physical. You actually have to physically move around, ducking under things, jumping over virtual obstacles projected onto screens, using your whole body to interact and defeat Bowser Jr.'s challenges.
Oh, wow. So you're really in the action.
Very much so. And up to 12 people can be in there at once, working together, even if they're not in your original group. It becomes this big, collaborative boss fight.
That sounds amazing. A shared physical boss battle in a theme park.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. Okay, slightly different topic. Limited edition bands. Are those a thing?
They are, yeah. USJ does sometimes release special versions. Like back in 2023 for the park's 2nd anniversary, they brought out golden power-up bands.
Golden ones. Fancy. What is the deal with those?
They were inspired by the golden mushroom from Mario Party 2, which is a neat little nod for the bigger fans.
Nice reference. Were they hard to get? Super rare.
Well, they never really said exactly how many were made. That kind of adds to the mystique, you know? Makes them feel rarer, more desirable for collectors. So yeah, if you see a special edition one, it might be something to grab if you're into that.
Good to know for the collectors listening.
Yeah.
Okay, let's nail down some practical stuff. What if I just walk up and hit a question block without a band on? Does anything happen?
Nope, nothing. You need the band to trigger the interaction. No band, no coins, no stamps, no fun sound effects. The band is literally the key.
Makes sense. And do the different characters, Mario, Luigi, Peach, do their bands work differently? Any special powers?
Functionally, no. They all do exactly the same thing. Collect coins, stamps, play the games. The only difference is which team you're on for those leaderboard scores.
Ah, okay. So it's purely about picking the character you like best.
Pretty much, yeah. Don't need to stress about strategy there.
Good. But what if I pick Luigi and then decide, I really wanted to be on Team Peach. Can I switch?
Unfortunately, no. Once you buy a band, that's your character. If you really want to switch teams, you'd actually have to buy a whole new band for that character.
Ouch. Okay, so choose carefully the first time.
Definitely worth taking a moment to decide.
Right. Now, tech gadgets usually need charging. What about these? Do I need to plug my power-up band in overnight?
Nope. That's the good news. They don't require any charging. They're designed to just work for your whole visit, probably multiple visits.
Oh, that's super convenient. No worrying about battery life. So they are reusable then? if I go back next year, I can bring the same band.
Absolutely. It's yours to keep and reuse on future trips to Super Nintendo World.
And my score.
It saves it. Your coins, your stamps, your progress, it's all linked through the app and the band. So you can pick up right where you left off next time.
That's great. Encourages return visits. But what if I wanted to start fresh? Can I reset the band's data?
Based on what we found, no. You can't actually reset the data stored on the band itself.
Really? Even if I delete the app?
Seems like even then, the history is tied to the physical band. If you relink it later, your old scores and collections will likely pop back up. Your Mario legacy is permanent.
My coin count follows me forever. Okay, so the band is clearly tied into all these interactive games and blocks. What about the big rides? Mario Kart? Koopa's Challenge? Yoshi's Adventure? Do I need a band for those?
That's a really important question, and the answer is no. You do not need a power-up band to ride the main attractions.
Okay, phew. So I won't miss the headline rides if I decide against getting a band.
Correct. You can absolutely go on Mario Kart and Yoshi's Adventure without one. But
Yours the butt.
having a band can still add to the experience, even for the rides. Specifically in the queues.
How so?
There are often interactive elements built into the waiting areas where you can use your power-up band to collect extra coins or stamps while you wait. It makes the line part of the game too, in a way.
Ah, I see. So it enhances the whole journey, even if it's not mandatory for the ride itself.
Exactly. And beyond the rides and key challenges, just walking around the land, there are loads of little interactive points, question blocks, hidden sounds that you can only activate with the band. It encourages you to explore every nook and cranny.
Makes the whole place feel alive. What about, like, the shops and restaurants in Super Nintendo World? Does the band do anything there?
Not directly, like you don't pay with it or anything, but it definitely reinforces the theme. You'll see food items and merchandise that tie into the whole coin collecting, character-based fun that the band enables. It all feels part of the same immersive world. Even the Mario Cafe and store outside the mainland has that vibe.
It really sounds like an all-encompassing experience they've built. Okay, shifting to planning a trip. Any crucial practical tips related to getting into Super Nintendo World? We know tickets are important.
Oh, absolutely vital. First, you need your basic Universal Studios Japan Park entry ticket, the Studio Pass. And given how popular USJ and especially Nintendo World are, buying these tickets way in advance is highly recommended.
Get them online beforehand.
Definitely. And here's a big heads up. USJ is actually stopping sales at their physical ticket booths at the park entrance from May 6th, 2025.
Wow, okay, so pre-booking online becomes basically essential then.
Pretty much, yeah. You'll need to buy through their website or official partners like Klook before you go.
Good to know. And isn't there something about timed entry for Super Nintendo World specifically?
Yes, very often there is. To manage crowds, you might need an area-timed entry ticket just to get into the Super Nintendo World section of the park.
And you get one of those.
You can sometimes get one for free on the day using the USJ app, but they can run out fast. Or, and this is a big perk, it's often included if you buy a Universal Express Pass.
Ah, the Express Pass. That helps you skip lines too, right?
Exactly. Many Express Pass options not only give you shorter waits for rides like Mario Kart, but also guarantee your timed entry into Super Nintendo World. If you're visiting on a busy day or just want to maximize your time, it's definitely something to seriously consider investing in.
Makes a lot of sense, especially with how popular it is. Now, one last exciting thing, Donkey Kong Country. The expansion is coming soon, right?
Yeah. Opening December 11th, 2024. It's going to make Super Nintendo World significantly bigger.
And presumably, the power-up bands will work there too.
It seems highly likely. While they haven't detailed every single interaction yet, given how integral the bands are to the current land, you'd expect that functionality to extend right into Donkey Kong Country. Maybe new DK-themed challenges, new things to collect. It just makes sense. It'll make the bands even more valuable, I think.
Wow, the whole experience just keeps growing. Okay, so let's wrap this up. If you had to give a one key takeaway message about the power-up bands for someone thinking about visiting, what would it be?
I'd say the power-up band is really your key to unlocking the full experience. It transforms you from just a visitor looking at things into an active player inside the world of Super Mario. It's way more than just plastic on your wrist. It's how you genuinely play in the park.
Yeah, I agree. It sounds like it really delivers on that promise of stepping into the game, giving you those fun aha moments when you collect a coin or beat a challenge. It feels like a really interesting evolution for theme parks.
Definitely. And, it makes you think this mix of, physical activity tracked digitally by the band, Makes you wonder, where else could this go?
How so?
Well, think about it. How might these kinds of interactive layers evolve in other parks, or maybe even seep into, I don't know, everyday experiences? Could we see more of this kind of gamified reality blurring the lines between what's digital and what's real?
That's a really interesting thought to leave people with. The future of interactive entertainment. Definitely something to mull over.